I, 24F, just found out my BF's, 27M, ex is pregnant. I am not op. Original post by you, Positive Sunshine in our relationship advice. Mood spoilers. Clown face, less than. And NBSP. I, 24F, just found out my BF's, 27M, ex is pregnant September 14th, 2022. So I started talking to a guy in the beginning of July and we met for the first time about a week later. We hit it off very well and just vibed from the get-go. We both fell fast and hard. We both have expressed how we have never felt a love this strong before. It honestly has felt like something out of a movie. He has told me he knows he is going to marry me one day. We said I love you to each other a few weeks after we started dating because it just felt right. I know it sounds crazy and we have both made comments about how this isn't normal, how fast we have moved along in our relationship, but just feels right. We made it official at the end of August, but it's now been almost 2 months of us dating. He just told he last night though that his ex reached out about a week ago and told him she's pregnant. He thought it wasn't real and just drama, so wanted to wait until she went to the doctors to confirm. She did finally go and she is pregnant. We talked about it and he was honest that a few days before we met he ended up hooking up with her. She is about 8 weeks pregnant. I don't know what I should do. I love him and don't want to leave, but I'm also really hurt and don't know how to go about this situation. Any advice would be helpful. And NBSP. Oop. I'm not hurt about him sleeping with his ex. I understand that he didn't cheat. He has told me he wants to have kids with me and I'm upset that I no longer get to make him a dad. Someone else did and that's a first we no longer get to experience. And NBSP. Oop. I'm not trying to butt in. I have already told him I support him as a partner and will be here for him in any way I can. I'm not making this about me. I respect the mother of his child and the fact he wants to be an active parent. I just don't want to throw away a good relationship because of outside drama. But also don't know if it's worth the drama or headache for myself. And NBSP. Oop. Thank you for your advice. Apparently they have tried making things work before in the past and it hasn't worked. Before she found out she was pregnant, she had tried in the last couple months coming back and trying to make things work, but he is done. He said their relationship was very toxic and exhausting and that every time she said she changed and they tried again it was all talk and she would go back to her ways again. He has already said he does not want to be with her, but he is conflicted on what to do and how to be there for the baby without being with her. He doesn't want to lose me either, but is worried this will make us fight more, which I'm sure will happen, and he doesn't want to deal with that. And NBSP. Oop. She has been getting to get back with him for months now. Even a few weeks after we started dating she showed up crying asking to try again and he said no. He's done. Too toxic of a relationship, they were always fighting and every time he gave her another chance she didn't change. I honestly feel this was a last-ditch effort to keep him around, but don't want to assume and can't say. She definitely wants to keep it. It does suck though. And NBSP. Oop. I am concerned on the impact this has on my BF. I am also upset in general though and have every right to be. It's a lot of mixed emotions. I'm happy for him as he has always wanted kids. I know he's going to be an amazing dad since his was never there for him and it's a big deal for him. I am upset that my fairy tale has been ruined, but I feel like that's normal and I'm just trying to also be a supportive partner even though this situation isn't ideal. And NBSP. Oop. He unfortunately did not use protection and trusted she would get the Plan B pill. And NBSP. Oop. Honestly at this point who knows? I agree he was dumb and it's stupid. It's unfortunate for sure. And NBSP. Check the math on your timeline. Because she's either further along than 8 weeks or he hooked up with her later than a few days before you first met. You're in the getting to know you honeymoon stage of your relationship. Maybe it is the case that you're a perfect match, but there's absolutely no way for you to know that yet. No matter how strongly you feel about this guy, you just haven't known him very long at all. And figuring out your long-term compatibility with someone takes, well, time. Give it a chance if you want to. But you don't need to feel like you're making a commitment here, and you definitely should not approach this as a commitment right now. Oop. I questioned the timeline too. At first I know they determine it based on the start of your last period. I don't have that information though obviously, so no way to really know. And NBSP. ERHMMM. Correct me if I read wrong. But a woman who is 8 weeks pregnant had sex 6 weeks ago. So he was having sex with her while dating you. Oop. I have honestly been thinking about this all day now. You are correct, the math doesn't add up. So she's either lying about him being the dad or he's lying about hooking up with her while we were dating. I will bring this up to his attention so he can confirm if it really is his or not. I think a paternity test will need to be done for sure. And NBSP. BF broke up with me today, September 19th, 2022. My BF BU with me today. I have been dumped many times now, and this hurts the most, mainly because all the other ones I saw coming. This one was out of left field though. He just found out his ex is pregnant with twins and they are his, and didn't think it would be fair to me to drag me along for the craziness of this all. He's also just having a really hard time with all of this and knows he won't have the time to give me the attention I deserve. He said he hopes it's just a pause for right now, but also knows I can't just sit and wait, but said, who knows what the future holds. My heart hurts. We both love each other very much and agreed if none of this was happening then we wouldn't be breaking up right now, and that's what sucks about it. We both wanted this to be a forever thing. I don't know how I'm going to move on or if I will ever be able to. And NBSP. He did you a favor. And from your last post it seems he was sleeping with his ex while he was love bombing you. You'll be fine. This was the most selfless thing he could have done for you. And I promise you a more honest and worthy individual will come along. Oop. He wasn't sleeping with her while we were together. She ended up being 13 weeks, not 8 weeks, and it's twins. He is honest, but he is doing what's best for both of us right now. And NBSP. Did you ever ask him to clarify the math of when the ex got pregnant? Oop. Yes. She ended up being 13 weeks pregnant, which mean it happened a couple weeks before we met. Which sucks, but that's life, I guess. And NBSP. Reminder, I am not the original poster. So, just a quick note on X weeks pregnant that is relevant here and may save someone reading some heartbreak in the future. Doctors calculate the age of the pregnancy from the first day of the last menstrual period, not from the day of conception. Usually that lines up pretty well, but occasionally it leads to situations where a woman is said to be 6 weeks pregnant when she only had sex 3 weeks ago. Now, humans being who humans are, a lot of the time when the timing doesn't add up, it's just plain cheating. But every so often, it's weird period math, which is helpful to know about. I don't know if I'll ever be able to move on after a 2-month relationship where he repeatedly lied. Oh girl. Lord Almighty, this girl is naive as heck. Also saying her fairy tale was ruined because she wasn't going to be the one to make him a dad. Girl, it was 2 months. Also, he was having unprotected sex just before, and likely during, their end of summer fling, so she may want to get tested. Oop. He unfortunately did not use protection and trusted she would get the Plan B pill, no words. I love when people start dating and think, wow, This feels amazing. Everything is perfect. I just love this person. Quote, no one truly loves a stranger after dating for 2 months. That's just hormones and love chemicals talking. And I bet Oop thought that since it's not the norm, it must be love. Newsflash. Everyone in an exciting new relationship feels this way. Your situation isn't unique. So she points out to boyfriend that the timeline doesn't add up. So they change the timeline. And she's just like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. He did her a favor. But boy does she have some rose-tinted glasses on. This situation sucks. I am assuming the BF was telling the truth about the hookup before he met Oop. But also, the only advice I know about sex is that you should never, ever have it unprotected if you are not willing to deal with the consequences. Don't leave birth control or protection up to your partner. After reading, we fell hard, like well you did, but it seems he was just having some fun until he got reality checked. Likely she was just the side chick and he was trickle-truthing until he figured out that wouldn't be possible anymore. Not that I condone either one of them being lax about protection. But I am honestly astounded by the number of men that rely on Plan B. I don't know why anybody thinks a woman pumping herself full of hormones is okay. It's already bad that in long-term relationships the burden of contraception largely falls on women and involved hormones. But the idea of messing with hormones after a one-off is ridiculous to me. Much less leaving it to chance. He assumed that she would use it. The relationship was way too short for her to be this heartbroken. Seems she's in denial about how much he loves her. If he did, he'd attempt to make it work. It's always twins. My first thought was that BF broke up because the effort and stress of keeping Oop on the hook with half-truths and evasions was too much for him. My husband and I fell hard just like Oop. We moved fast in the beginning. But neither of us were idiots and knew hormones and emotions can blind us, so even though we were engaged after 2 months, we waited to marry for 2 years. Being 100%, we weren't victims of rose-colored glasses and really did want to be with each other. I have no nice way of saying this, but Oop is not the brightest bulb in the tanning bed. It's not uncommon for women to be an extra 35 weeks further along than they calculated originally. Since a lot of women misinterpret breakthrough bleeding as a period, the due date estimate based on last menstrual period is flawed, and you can't really know until a pregnancy confirmation and dating ultrasound is done, which is also when they would have discovered that it is twins. The story really does add up. But it is unfortunate all the same. So she went from 8 weeks to suddenly 13 weeks? That means she was pregnant for over a month longer than they originally told Oop. I've never been pregnant or around anyone who has been long enough to know. But Planned Parenthood says it takes about 2 to 3 weeks after sex for pregnancy to happen. Some people notice pregnancy symptoms as early as a week after pregnancy begins. At the very least, it should have been rather suspect when she missed not 1, not 2, but 3 periods before telling him about it. Someone is lying and I can't tell who. If X doesn't pop out those kids in 27 weeks' time, I guess Oop will know. To be honest, I think that they both had a lucky escape. Declaring undying love and wanting to have someone's babies after 8 weeks is utter madness. Oh, this girl is so deep in denial that it hurts. She was love-bombed and can't see past the rose-colored glasses. Op doesn't sound like the brightest bulb. You know, my first thought was, that's a hell of a mood spoiler. But, you know, it's completely accurate. It's now been almost 2 months of us dating. He has told me he wants to have kids with me and I'm upset that I no longer get to make him a dad. Chef's kiss.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.